Well, hello there trainers, greetings, KuroBlitz here and welcome back to another video. So as of lately, I have seen a lot of videos from a lot of people on YouTube doing these challenges where they change the teams of gym leaders, elite fours to benefit themselves in terms of challenges, and also what if they were other types, what if they used Pokemon from other regions, and I want to give my own twist on the matter, that being, doing so for the peninsula of the Indigo League, that being of the Kanto region and the Johto region. However, I'm not going to, have Pokemon from other regions or even, give them better teams for their own types. I want to do a type reversal. I want to have the gym leaders of Kanto utilize the types of the Johto gym leaders and vice versa. And as for the extra challenge, they need to be on the order that the gym leaders are. As you can see from the thumbnail, Faulkner is the first from Johto, so I need to give flying types to Brock. Sabrina is the 6th of Kanto, so I need to give psychics to Jasmine. This is going to be a very interesting challenge, so let's find out. Alright then, so let's get started with Brock. Brock is going to have the flying type of Faulkner, and with that I decided for Brock's team to be of Spearow and Doduo. It's nothing much, but I feel like, they are very unique flying type Pokemon from Kanto that are not the rare Farfetch or the typical PG, so I feel like Brock using this Pokemon would have incentivized the trainers to, use these less regular birds, And with that, I want to up the challenge for the next gym leader, that being Misty. Misty is not going to have 2 Pokemon, she's going to have 3. And Misty, ironically enough, because of her anime incarnation, Misty here is going to utilize bug type Pokemon. I decided to give her a Paras, a Venonat, and a Butterfree. So you still have that loose connection of the evolution that was meant to be Venonat to Butterfree, so you still have the Staryu and Starmie situation here, but to a much more hilarious degree. And that would be Misty's team trying to echo that of Bugsy. Now trying to echo Whitney as the normal type challenge that she is, I decided to give normal Pokemon to Lieutenant Surge. Surge is going to have Meowth, Raticate, and Lickitung. I feel like this Pokemon would be very benefiting for Surge. And now when it comes to the 4th gym leader, that would be Erica, and she would have to use ghost types like Morty. Luckily for her, Morty only uses the ghost types of Kanto, so her team would be Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, which is funny because she was meant to be a ghost gym leader even so there's that. Like in the beta of Pokemon. If you see the sprites or if you know the lore, you know what I'm talking about. So there you have it. Now, as for Koga being the 5th gym leader, he would have to have a Chuck team. And Chuck had Primeape and Poliwrath, so I can use that for, Koga, but I'm also going to give him the Hitmons, being Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. With that being said, going to Saffron, the city of technology, the capital of Kanto, I would have to give Sabrina Steel Pokemon because of Jasmine. But they don't exist yet, besides Magneton. So what I decided to do was to give Sabrina industrial looking Pokemon, so her team comprises of Muk, Electrode, and her ace would be Porygon. As for Blaine, being an ice type expert just like Price Prior, he would have mons that Lorelei also has. There is nothing much that I can do here, so for Blaine's team he would have Jinx, Cloyster, Dewgong, and Lapras. And I feel like, with him moving from Cinnabar to Seafoam Island in the sequel, he would have feel more at home without needing to change the puzzle and even the environment of the actual challenge. Now, as for Giovanni, by this logic, due to Claire, Giovanni would be a dragon type gym leader, but there aren't many dragons and I don't want to, you know, do a Lance do-over, so I decided to do something original. I decided to give Giovanni the dark type. We don't have the dark type in Gen 1, but I'm going to give Giovanni a multi-type team of Pokemon in order to, you know, semblance Blue, the rival for the sequels, and that way I can show what the mob boss is truly all about, because being of Team Rocket doesn't lock him into just one type. So with Dark being evil for Team Rocket, it makes a lot of sense, and these are the Pokemon that I have for him, Pokemon that in my opinion could, in theory, have the Dark type, being of Tangela, Arbok, Dugtrio, Hypno, and Pinsir. And now with the Kanto region out of the way, let's talk about the Johto gym leaders, and I think these are very interesting, and I decided to make it more challenging by not adding any Kanto Pokemon to their rosters, like how they should have gotten in the original Gold Silver Crystal. So starting off Generation 2, I have Faulkner, and Faulkner is going to have rock types like Brock, and he's going to have a Shuckle and a Corsola. These are very rare Pokemon and they are very unique in terms of their battling mechanics, and it would be a very interesting challenge for, you know, the player as their first one. Fighting a Shuckle in Gym 1 as well as a Corsola, unique. And Corsola's water type, it would segue perfectly into the water Pokemon that Bugsy would utilize. And Bugsy here has a Remoraid, a Marill, and a Chinchou. There wasn't really much that I can do with him, but I'm very proud of, you know, all of these Pokemon being, you know, very unique when it comes to, you know, their types, their environments, and if they are in lakes, in sea, in the ocean. So you have all of the aquatic biome spectrum. Now, continuing on, Goldenrod, a yellow city. I had Whitney get electric Pokemon, and the Pokemon that she would have would be the two Johto babies of Pichu and Elekid, and her ace would be a Flaffy. It's pink like Miltank, so it would work. As for Ecruteak, the city of foliage of autumn, I decided to have the grass type go to Morty, and Morty would have a Skiploom, a Sunflora, and a Bellossom. I feel like these would be amazing Pokemon for Morty to have, so it gives all of the vibe of nature and tradition that Johto is known for. Specifically Ecruteak City, no less. With that, we have Chuck. Chuck is going to be a poison gym leader in Cyanwood Island. There are not many native poison Pokemon in the Johto region, so I had to cheat here, and I decided to, you know, give Chuck a Gligar because it can learn Poison Sting and it's purple colored, so I think it would make a lot of sense. And Gligar is based on a scorpion crab, so being in the beaches of Cyanwood, it does make a lot of sense. So for the other mons of Chuck's team, I decided to have a Quillfish because of the island biome, as well as a Ariados and a Crobat. Crobat here to basically show that you have to be friends with your Pokemon, and given how Chuck's wife gives you the HM for Fly, it would be a great reminder for you. Now going back to the mainland of Johto, to Olivine City, Jasmine is the lighthouse keeper and the light type before being associated with, you know, fairy. It was once associated with psychic and electric because of light screen and all of those dazzling move Pokemons. So Jasmine is the psychic type gym leader in this reality, and she's going to use Pokemon such as Xatu, Slowking, Girafarig, and Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet's going to be your ace, so you have to be very careful with that. And as the lighthouse keeper, it could be Xatu or Slowking, depending on whatever your vibe is. And Girafarig is unique. I decided to not give her Espeon because there was no really need for it, and I already upped the antics by having her have 4 Pokemon instead of 3. Like Chuck, he has 4 instead of 2. So there's that. And continuing on with 4 Pokemon, we have the Fire type gym leader, that being the alternate version of Price. So as for Price, there wasn't really much that I could do, and I did not want it to give him a starter. Having a Typhlosion for the guy didn't seem fitting, or even an underleveled Quilava. So what I decided to do was to, give Price an underleveled Magby, and he has a Magcargo and the Houndoom as his other Pokemon, but I gave him a Smeargle. And this Smeargle Sketch, because he had Sketch 4 times already at levels 1, 11, 21, 31, he would have Sketch for, other fire moves, one of them being Sunny Day, and it's a dog like Houndoom. It has red on the tail, at least the video game incarnation, so it would make sense for, it being the odd card of, Price's team. And continuing on with the final gym leader, that goes to Claire. Now, when it comes to Claire, given how Blackthorn City is in the mountains, it would make sense for her to have ground Pokemon. And you do get ice types in the ice path to defeat dragons, so here it will still work, but to defeat ground types. There are not many native ground types that I already didn't use for other parts of the teams here. So as for Claire, the ones that are really ground type for her, it would be Donphan, Quagsire, and Paloswine. And I decided to give her a Furret because it's a Pokemon that likes to dig, and even in the anime it was mistaken to be a ground Pokemon. And I gave her a Tyranitar that was once ground type, and it's underleveled like her cousins as Dragonites, so I think it would make a lot of sense for her to still have a Draconic Mon, and being this powerhouse like 10 levels below, it's a wall to deal with, like how Whitney's Miltank is. It's a great challenge, and she gets 5 Mons as preparation for the Elite Four. So there you have it, trainers. This is what I would do if, the types of the gym leaders were swapped between generations. These are fun challenges to do. Let me know in the comments down below what Pokemon you would give, what other challenges you would like for, for me to do in terms of, changing teams of trainers. And I will consider it. This is very fun. So yeah, make sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you another time. KuroBlitz out.